Are we rolling? We're good?
Yeah, that's all making it, too.
All right, welcome back to the BotchPod. The BotchPod. The BotchPod. The BotchPod. The worst podcast in the world. Welcome back to the BotchPod, the worst podcast in the world. Today we have Emily.
What's up?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Looking forward to it.
So, for the people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I own BraidBabes. That's my current thing I've got going on. Started that like 4 years ago. Before that, I actually worked in technology at 9 to 5 and was real into computer and tech and wanted to do something cool with my life and landed at BraidBabes, and that's my main thing. We're in 3 cities right now: Buffalo, Nashville, and Phoenix, and we're about to franchise and take over the world.
Nice. So that's a weird transition from tech to...
Yeah, what were you doing in tech?
Yeah, it was database management. I was at a company here called Liaison, and I learned a lot. I'm a whiz in the spreadsheets with formulas and data and analysis and all of it. And so it actually has transitioned over to BraidBabes really well. I'm amazing at the business analysis and creating reports and automating and figuring out what's going on with our numbers. So
Nice.
It's actually working pretty well.
So do you like braid the hair yourself? Obviously, I've seen videos of you doing it, but like, do you do like a lot of behind the scenes stuff too?
Yeah, I'm mostly all staring at a computer all day. But just recently, I just moved back to Buffalo in March, and so now I have been reconnecting with our clients and our community here through braiding. So I'll take appointments here and there. I did 3 last week, and that was
cool.
It felt good. Yeah, one girl, she was doing the strongman competition, gave her these wild braids, and it felt so good to reconnect with the people here.
That's cool. I saw you were out in like Phoenix, right?
Yeah. I was in Nashville for a year and then Phoenix for a year, and I'm back home. I don't know how long.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you were just visiting or what was going on, but...
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's like, I
Yeah.
haven't figured it out yet.
We have this headquarters apartment here, and it has a bedroom. That's where I always stay when I come visit. So I just moved into that for a little bit, and I do love Phoenix, so I might go back. We'll see.
Is it just like the warmth that you love, or?
Yeah, the warmth, the people, the vibes. Honestly, Buffalo also has the people, but Phoenix, you add the weather and the vibes, and it's really cool. But Buffalo has such a good startup and business community here. Phoenix has that as well, and I love all the people I met. They also have country swing dancing, which I fell in love with there, and there isn't any country swing dancing in Buffalo, and so that's also kind of pulling me back.
You know what that is? What is that?
Yeah, so you've probably seen girls like line dancing. I shouldn't say girls, men do it too, but
Yeah.
line dancing, they have like little routines, and every song has its own routine. It kind of goes with that, but it's a man and a woman, and the man is the lead. I shouldn't even say man or woman for that, because some women will lead and some men will follow, but you have a lead and a follow, and as the woman or the follow, you don't need to know what you're doing. They just pull you around and push you around, and you kind of get good at just going with the flow. And so it was so good. As an entrepreneur, I'm at the computer all day, and then at night I could put my phone down and just dance around all night, and
Just like I'm at the computer all day and dancing all night.
Yeah, seriously,
Just like swing dancing.
Lose all the stress, can't even look at the phone because you're busy dancing. And so it was a really good hobby, and you're being active and moving, and so that's, as an entrepreneur, it gets hard to like work out sometimes, so that was such a good plus too.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, you do it to country songs, obviously?
Yeah, it's all country music, and in Phoenix, it's at country bars. So these bars are like, there's live bull riding
Live?
Yeah, live bull riding in the arena, and then there's like the mechanical bull, and they've got like country boots and hats, and you're outside, you're on like the dirt floor dancing.
Right.
Very
It's-
like Western.
Yeah, it's so, you're
Yeah.
out in the middle of the desert.
I say it makes sense, like the desert and everything.
Yeah, it's so cool. But every city, like almost all cities, have their own country swing community. Buffalo just so far has a line dancing community, but that's building, and I bet they'll have country swing soon.
I love Phoenix. My grandma used to live out there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I fell in love. Yeah. I mean, It is beautiful, but I will say, like, there's a lot I missed about Buffalo too. Like when you come back to Buffalo and it's so green, and you get that fall and the green, and you forget how much you missed that. Also, I left in May because it was 110 every day, and I was like, I was ready for it for like July and August. I didn't know it was gonna start in May.
What would you rather have though, the muddy spring or the 110?
I think I'm gonna have both.
Just boom, back and forth.
Yeah, I think every year I might just become a snowbird now.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Everything is like, all your work's virtual, right? Like, I'll just work from the laptop wherever I am, so I might do that.
I don't blame you.
Go back for the winter.
So take us through how BraidBabes started.
Yeah. So like I said, I was in my 9 to 5. Before that, I was actually working on opening a dog cafe. I didn't have any money to open it. I kind of gave up on the idea, but it was called T-Pups. It still has an Instagram. So that was my first idea. Once I decided not to do that, I felt kind of lost. I hired a business coach, and they said to just get coffees with everyone. And I'm sure you guys know, like, your value is your network, right? Like, all the people you know. And so I just met with a ton of people and really just learned about their path and what they did. It landed me this consulting gig in tech. And with that, I put in my 2 weeks at my job, my full-time job, and I had this braid book. So I was in my 2 weeks, I like had no stress, I'm like, whatever. So I picked up this braid book that had been under my bed for 7 years, and I didn't even open it. I looked up the author and on Instagram, and she had a braid challenge starting in a couple days. So I joined the braid challenge. I posted a different braid on Instagram every single day, braiding myself. And I just had the new phone, so it was portrait mode. Do you remember when like portrait mode first started? So it was like posting these amazing braid photos in portrait mode. No one else had portrait mode yet. And it just blew up. Everyone started DMing me, asking me to braid their hair. And then a store messaged me and asked me to come braid at their grand opening. And I was panicking because I'd only ever braided my own hair. And so I did some really bad braids that day too, where I was like, can I redo that braid? Because everyone has such different hair. I had no idea what I was doing. You know, it was like I learned braiding, but now I also had to learn how to do buns and how to curl hair and how to do bridal styles. And I'm like, I don't know any of this stuff. Like I said, I was in tech, you know?
Yeah.
The reason I picked up that braid book is because I didn't know how to do anything with my hair. I was wearing it down or up every day. So everyone was asking me to braid their hair, and then I kind of accidentally hired my first employee. I was working an event at a clothing boutique, and the line was full before I even started. I was still setting up, and I had to shut the line off. And then her one employee knew how to braid at the store. So she hopped on, did amazing work, and then I was like, do you want like a job? Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it will be like. I've never even been a manager before. I have no idea what I'm doing. But she was down. And then we had virtual calendars where people could book us online. I was booked up. She was booked up after a week. And so we then strategically started hiring, and Buffalo started booming. And that's really how it all started.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was building. It was really wild. With the consulting gig, those hours I could kind of fluctuate. So as braiding went up, I'd kind of turn that down. And that was kind of cool how I was able to do that.
That's awesome. So you mentioned after this, like this has to be cut short because you have a meeting with 65 people.
Yeah.
Are those all just your employees strictly?
Yeah, right. We have 65 employees in the company right now. We have 4 of us on the internal admin team, and then the rest are our braiders in the different cities.
Okay. So
Holy fuck, that's a
mostly
lot.
mostly braiders, obviously. Do you have like a social media person, a marketing person, stuff like that too?
We actually just took it all in-house because we want to start reconnecting with everyone again and being more genuine. So me and my co-founder are splitting Instagram now and doing it ourselves, and that's been really cool. You know, we're just like hopping on the stories and just talking to people instead of like, here's this like curated image, and that's been doing a lot better already.
Nice.
Yeah, but I have a operations manager. She does all like systems and all the gritty stuff. Basically, it's like if it doesn't need to be me physically doing it, our operations manager is doing it, a sales manager, and then my co-founders are experience manager. So she's the one making sure like the clients and the braiders are like happy and getting like a really great experience.
Cool.
Yeah.
So in each city, is there like a set location, or do the people go to the the people that book them, or how does it work?
Yeah, we're 100% mobile. So we're going to our clients' houses for their appointments or parties, and then businesses will book us to come do those braid bars. Like I told you how my story started.
Yeah.
They'll book a braid bar like that at their store. So our braiders, it's pretty cool. Like we could have one appointment on a day, or we could have 150 appointments on one day, and it doesn't matter. Like from the back end, it's like I don't even need to know how many appointments we have today, and that's pretty cool. Where if we had a brick and mortar, it would be like, who's on the schedule, who didn't show up, we are slow today, we need to send someone home, we only have 5 chairs, but we have a line out the door. So this is pretty cool. It can flex with the seasons and
Yeah, that's smart.
yeah, the schedules. I really like it.
Cool. It's basically like a pop-up for like a clothing brand or something, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, that's so, like, interesting. Like, do they do that, like, with, like, barbers?
I know the one guy does it at the
the Bills,
stadium.
yeah.
Okay, he does.
Yeah, he's next to us.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It's pretty cool. And they'll do
Okay.
like Bills logos into the hair.
Right. It's just such, like, an uncommon thing now, like, in this time frame. But, because, like, you're saying all this, and it's blowing my mind that you can do all this with just hair. You know what I mean?
It is kind of
it
crazy.
is crazy.
Because, yeah, people are always like, well, just braids, you should add makeup, you should add this, add that. And I'm like, no, like, we're just braids. Technically, our focus is hairstyles beyond your go-to. So it's not just braids. We do the shimmers, too. Like, if you see my hair sparkling, we do tons and tons of shimmers. It's crazy. We do the festival braids with color. We'll add glitter, gems. On men, we'll do glitter beards. So,
Glitter beards?
yeah.
Dude, you should get your beard glittered.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
We do it. Yeah, we do a lot at the Bills games. Red and blue beards, Cobblestone Live. We did a couple.
How long does it,
always
like,
fun.
take, like, to get out?
It's just using hair gel. So like you just shower and it comes out. But if you go to sleep without rinsing hair gel
So
out,
you have to shower, like, within the same day.
you're talking about the beard,
beard,
glitter.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah.
I would, because if you go to bed with it, that's when you'll be finding glitter for the next 5 years.
Right.
Stuck to
no,
your forehead.
I don't want that.
No. But
He
it's fun.
finds glitter a lot.
So how much? how much does the like a braid? I know. I'm sure there's different
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
prices, but how much typically does it cost? Like, what's your AOV?
Yeah, so one appointment to come to our client's house is about $65. And that's like you're attending a wedding and you want a beautiful braid. You can find any inspiration on Instagram or Pinterest and we'll do that. If you start adding friends to that appointment, it's going to start getting cheaper per person because we're already at your house, right? But then we do the parties, kids parties, bachelorettes, women just getting together for whatever reason, volleyball teams, divorce parties, and
Divorce parties? That's a
yeah,
thing?
It
Did you know
is.
that?
We do a lot of them.
What?
I hate to say it's fun, but it's fun because it's like you're
Yeah.
celebrating like the woman's like free and out of like whatever she
Right.
just went through. Yeah, we've done a lot of those.
Men just go to the bar.
It's kind of
around the corner.
it's kind of a joke. It's really not a good joke, but yeah, it's like we'll braid you from your prom to your graduation to your wedding to your divorce party. Yeah.
If you're making money on it, more power to them.
That's crazy.
I mean, we're here to celebrate women wherever they need it. So.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but then the parties, those will start to get down to, I think it's like 30 a person.
Okay.
And we have a menu where it's like you're picking from our menu of braids. You're not just picking any braid off, the internet for parties.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you, first of all, hold on, before I get anywhere else, are you going to be at, like, the preseason game this week?
No.
Okay.
We don't have any plans to be there. I wish we did. I don't know what happened there that we're not, but.
But definitely, like, first real game.
Yeah, we should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we make it, we should get my beard glittered.
Yes.
Be good for the video.
Grow them out until then, too.
Well, I don't know about growing them out. Like, mine will get pretty long pretty fast, but, like,
Okay.
Yeah. And at the stadium, too, it's all free.
would you do it?
The Bills pay so that the fans could all get it.
Maybe.
We could do both of you and get a good picture.
It'd be really good content.
We should have done it for this podcast.
No.
We should have. That would have been great.
We didn't know. Thank God. No, but no, yeah, I want to do that. But okay, let me ask. You just said you pick off a menu. So this might sound really like ignorant because I'm ignorant to all of this, but like, how does it work? Like, do you come up with your own designs in braids, or do you take like a classic design type thing, or you make your own? Like, how does the menu work?
Yeah, that's a good question. Basically every braid we've ever done has existed somewhere before, and so it's been more like people have shown us pictures over time. We'll recreate it, get a good photo, and then that makes it on the menu. Our menu braids take between 15 to 25 minutes, and so that's what will kind of make a menu braid. We have a virtual training, and that is how we hire for our teams too. So for example, Nashville and Phoenix, we had a whole team trained up, ready to go before we had ever even been in the city. And those menu braids are the ones that they're taught all through that training. And so that's what kind of makes them a menu braid too, is like our braiders have done them over and over and over and has perfected them. And so, you know, when you pick it at a party, the braider can just rock out a great braid off that menu. Yeah. And they have cute names too, Faith and Hope.
What's the one you have right now?
This one I think is just called a double Dutch because it's such a common one, but it's my favorite. I like it.
Double Dutch. Not like you did that yourself?
No. A braider came over earlier. I actually was panicking. I was like, guys, could someone come braid me today? I should have a braid in my hair for this because every time I don't have a braid, someone's like, where's your braid? So I was like, I need a braid. And then this new braider came to pick up her supplies. So this is from a brand new braider. She hasn't even done an appointment yet, and she did great.
Okay. So like I was gonna say, I don't mean to be rude. I just want to know like
how'd she do?
Like I don't want to like judge you. Like me personally, like I wouldn't know the certain names or anything like that. I wouldn't know if that was good or bad. But you know what I mean?
You can tell it's cute,
like,
right?
Yeah, it looks good. It does. It's just like I just don't like. Would you know like
No.
if she did a good job?
Going off of that, you said you have no guy braiders.
Yeah.
Well, is that for like? Have you never had a guy reach out?
I think me and you are going to start Braid Bros.
Can you please?
Braid Bros.
Call it the brother brand. Yeah. The BraidBabes brother brand.
Or we'll just take over.
Yeah. We had a guy go through our training one time and then he didn't complete it. We were so excited though.
Really?
Yeah.
You were so excited that he didn't complete it, or that he? Okay. I don't know the way you said it. While you're down there, grab one.
We were so
But like, she's like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, we were so excited to potentially have our first man on the team, and yeah, it didn't work out.
Just didn't work out.
Yeah, so someday, hopefully someday soon.
You guys offer like health insurance?
No, but we like the idea of like Instacart, I think, has some kind of insurance plans for its employees. So, like as you get really big, there's more options to offer that kind of stuff to the braiders.
Okay, so you got to prove yourself. I'm gonna take braiding classes.
I don't even have health insurance.
Oh, valid. Okay, but shit, I think I could braid some hair. I can type on a keyboard pretty fast, right?
I don't know if that correlates.
Well, I'll send you guys the free training, and you can send me what you come up with from it.
Okay.
We'll get right on it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. We could braid Nick's hair. He's not here, but we could braid his hair. That's our sound guy who's not here, who didn't show
He's
up.
long hair.
It's long enough to braid,
Cool.
right?
Like a mullet.
Yeah, it's like a mullet.
Oh, cool.
Have you ever braided like a mullet?
I haven't personally, but I'm sure someone on the team has.
Right.
We've done a lot of man braids,
Okay.
and we have men's braids on the menu too.
So like, what do the men's braids consist of? Like,
They're kind of like, a lot of times it'll be like a detail braid on the side, and then like one braid on top into like a bun or a ponytail.
Okay.
Kind of like that, like a lot more like little detail braids. They're like tight.
who's easier to work with, men or women?
Oh, I don't think I could answer that because we have so many women of all of the.
Right.
And I think men can be tough sometimes. They're really go with the flow, but they're also like, they've never seen their head with a braid on it before. And so I've seen a couple men be like, oh, okay, it's good. And I'm like, yeah.
And
They're just not used to seeing themselves
Yeah.
with a braid. It can be really different if you're used to seeing all your hair and now it's like all slicked back. It can be jarring. Even women, sometimes we tell them like, give it a minute, keep looking in the mirror, like it's really cute. You just aren't used to seeing like all of your hair pulled back. It's a different look sometimes.
So with every business, there's the good and then there's the bad. Like, what are like the horror stories or like the worst horror story you've dealt with a client?
Oh, yeah. We had one client that wouldn't let the braider leave because she had bought one feed-in braid, like a festival braid.
Okay.
And she told the braider, like, I bought 2, but she didn't. She just bought 1. And so the braider was like, here's like a QR code. You can add on the second one right now. And she just started yelling at her, no. And the braider was like, okay, like, I'm going to leave. The braiders are taught, like, if it ever gets elevated, you leave. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on, you leave. And we even say, like, we provide them with a whole kit. We tell them, like, leave the kit. Like, just get out of the house. So we train them a lot on safety, but in this particular instance, the client wouldn't let the braider leave. And so we had to call the police and, like, get them involved.
Wow.
And then we had this other client that developed a crush on one of our braiders. And I think her actions reminded me of someone that would have like schizophrenia. And so she's still in our inbox. And she says she's 50 Cent. And I think, you know, I'm sure she's like going through something, but it is really interesting. Once you have thousands and thousands of clients, you like, you do start to see some things. But like she replied to one of our emails and it just didn't even make sense the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, it's that client. But
It's just a part of business. It's not always going to be like roses.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, she loved BraidBabes too. But, and then we had another appointment where the client had a monkey and told the braider, like, don't touch the monkey. Like, it's not a nice monkey. And then the client, like, went to the bathroom or something and the braider totally was like, hi, monkey. And it bit her.
Oh my God. It's kind of on the braider though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully she's not watching this. Sorry.
Yeah, no, she's probably not. But some crazy stuff starts to happen for sure. We've had to call the police a couple times.
Don't touch the monkey.
But we've done, I think we've done 15,000 appointments now. And then we're about to hit 100,000 braids completed through all the events and everything, where we do a lot more braids at the events.
Nice. So when you were starting out kind of like more in the trenches, what is like, do you remember like any girls having like the nastiest like hair? And you just like had to do it, like had to braid their hair for them?
Yeah, I want to walk the line carefully because like I feel like I love every client we have and I would never want to like talk negatively. But I did have one scenario where I parted this younger girl's hair and I was like, the smell just kind of hit me. But you know, it happens. For appointments, we ask our clients to have their hair washed within the last 24 hours. And they do really well with that. So we have clean hair at all of our appointments. Our braiders are trained on like how to make sure there's no lice, which we've actually never had a lice incident. And yeah, exactly.
Big fact. I was just thinking that.
But at braid bars, sometimes it can be kind of different because we're just set up. They didn't know we were going to be there that day, and they're like, "Oh, I should get my hair braided." And then sometimes little girls will have like just total rat's nest, like really big knots in their hair. But our braiders are trained to just give the brush and some detangler to the parent. Like, we're not here to make your kids cry. So here's a brush, and you can brush her hair out before we braid it.
Smart.
Yeah, so some of those things.
See, this is like shit we don't have to deal with though, like you and me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't even think about that, like knots in hair and stuff like that. Like I've never really had. I mean, I did have like long hair, like on my shoulders at one point, but like it was never like that.
Never got knotted up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's something, especially with kids, that happens just all the time because they're like outside just playing with their hair down. So we actually have a lot of moms that will book us just to braid their kids all the time because their hair won't knot when it's braided. So.
Shit.
Yeah, people book us for really interesting things. We get bookings for women that just want to clean their house. We also get a lot of C-section bookings. It's kind of cool. Like, they know what date they're going to be going to the hospital, and then they know that the braid's going to last a few days, and they just don't have to worry about it. So we'll go braid them before their C-sections.
But why? Why before the C-section?
Well, if you think about it, like when a woman's giving birth, her head is like just moving around on the bed, and your hair is just going to get like all knotted up, frizzy, just like really messy. And then everyone's coming to the hospital to come visit you and your baby, and your hair is like just really messy, which is probably a beautiful thing as a mother. But some women, they're like, I'm just going to get a braid, and then I don't have to worry about my hair, and it'll just look good.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Me, sorry. Timer.
Camera reset.
Yeah, it's all right.
What's a typical C-section braid?
Probably something like I have, but then like braided all the way down. Just something like, just tight, double Dutch. Yeah.
Then like
someone's
her
not gonna
family
work.
comes in after she just had a baby. They're like, oh my God, you look so good. The fuck?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy. I never even thought, we don't think about this shit. Never.
Yeah, it's pretty common. Like, women go through a lot through birth, and then
Yeah.
everyone's there to see the baby, and some
They wanna
women
look good,
Some
obviously,
women, yeah,
still,
they want to
yeah.
look cute, and you're gonna get photos with your baby, and
Yeah. Damn.
yeah.
I'm still hung up on the divorce party, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't stopped thinking about that. That's like really kind of funny. Like,
It
I hate
is.
to be that
There's
guy.
actually a lot in Nashville. So, we're in Nashville, and so we do a ton of bachelorettes, but it's also where a lot of divorce parties are traveling. And
They travel for these things?
Yes, just like a bachelorette. I think they do like a black sash instead of like a white
Oh,
one.
really? Did you know about this before this?
2 things that you're gonna find.
All right, Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
Is there like, did you know about this before? Have you ever heard of that?
No,
A divorce party.
no, I don't think anyone I've ever seen get a divorce, not that I know of at least,
Yeah.
ever had a divorce party.
Right. But like, you know what I'm thinking? This is just me being me, but I'm thinking like sometimes the party's planned before the marriage.
Before the marriage or before the divorce?
How you funding the party out to Nashville?
What?
How you funding the party to go to Nashville?
Oh, the husband's money, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Might be planned. Divorce parties. God damn, that's a real thing. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
When you heard about that, were you shocked? Like, divorce?
I think we just kind of giggled. We were like, oh, that's funny.
What do guys do?
Guys just go to some hole in the wall. Maybe like one guy.
Yeah.
The guy that just got divorced.
Super depressed.
The guy
by
that,
himself.
the
Just
guy that
binging.
got divorced went there by himself.
He's
texting his
Yeah.
buddies, and his buddies just show up just to support him.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably like one of them, maybe two.
Divorce party. Oh, okay. That's enough on divorce party.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole market in Nashville.
So how old are you?
31.
31. Okay. How old were you when you got involved with BraidBabes? When you started?
26.
Oh wow. So it's been a while now, huh?
Yeah, 2018 is when I learned how to braid.
Okay. So was there like ever a moment of like, oh fuck, I made the wrong decision?
No. There have been moments where I could see where other people would give up. It has gotten so hard that I'm like, they talk, people talk about like, this is where businesses fail. And I don't know that it's like, there probably is a good time to give up sometimes, and it makes sense. But I also think the ones that become really successful are the ones that just stick with it, even when it feels like you should give up and it feels like it is just failing. And I just decided that I'm not giving up. I told my team, like, we are not giving up until literally someone comes and like takes my laptop out from in front of me because they need it for repo or something. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I'm not giving up. And there've been definitely a few times where I'm like, okay, this is where people give up, and we just have to keep going. And it can be really hard. When times get hard, I personally just want to crawl in a ball. And like, there's like the fight, flight, or freeze. Like, I just want to freeze. I just want to like curl up in a ball, be under my blanket. And as CEO, you have to do the fight. Like, you have no choice,
Yeah.
but you have to fight. You have to be like, okay, what's the challenge? Now we're going, let's solve it. And so I'm learning how to do that. And I've been talking to my mentors, and they say that it's pretty normal. They say that everyone starts off like where you just want to like freeze and panic, but you get really good at just being like, okay, great. Like, what do we got to do? What's the issue? Let's solve it. Like, what can we do? And then just moving forward with that. But
Right.
yeah, it gets really hard sometimes.
So like in 2023, have you experienced how it's gotten hard, like you were just saying? Or has like 2023 been like a really good year? Because I mean, you just said you have a meeting with how many people? Those are all employees. Like,
Right.
you guys are obviously a lot different from years ago.
Yeah. I do think the economy maybe is hitting us a little bit this year. Like, I'll say we're hitting the same revenue numbers, the same amount of bookings this year that we did last year. And so that's kind of interesting. Normally we're like doubling in revenue. But I've been talking to all my founder friends, and they're all really struggling. And a lot of my founder friends have actually shut down their businesses. Quite a few have gone out of business. And so that's where I'm like, we're holding on tight, and we're not giving up. And so we took social media in-house, you know, like I can like be like, oh yeah, we're making it so cool. Okay, but we're also saving $1,000 a week. So we're just like getting gritty to make sure that whatever happens with this economy, we can stick through it because we'll be profitable. And then whenever everyone is like freely spending again, we'll just be like on the up and up. I mean, we're doing really well. It's just we're not like doubling our revenue like we saw in past years.
Right, and it does make sense with right now how we are.
Yeah,
especially.
and everyone I talk to says they're experiencing it, and my friends will say, my founder, I hang out with mostly like business friends, and they all say that if you're maintaining this year compared to last year, then you're winning, because most businesses are going down.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And so
Yeah.
when I talk to my team, I tell them like, I'm proud of us, like we're holding strong, we're hitting the same numbers as last year, this is really good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fuck, I had something I just forgot.
So with inflation, have you like had to raise prices?
Oh yeah. When I first started braiding, I would come to someone's house and braid them for $25, and now we're at that 65. So it went from 25 to 35 to 55, and now 65.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Wow.
not so much because of inflation, more just building the business and building all the systems behind it and being able to pay our braiders well. That's just kind of has happened over the years.
Right.
All that stuff gets expensive. And
See, but like when you grow your brand, that happens. You have more people on the team. You know, you have to do something like that, and you build your name to a certain reputation. You have to do that.
Yeah, everything definitely gets really expensive as you keep going.
Now, what's like the material cost
I was
to
just
show
about to
up?
say that.
You know, like seriously, because I don't know, like, can you just show up and do it with your hands? Like, you just
Right.
show up, or do you come with like suitcases full of shit?
Yeah, it's 5% of our revenue right now. So every $100 of revenue, we'll pay $5 of that to supplies. So it's a decent amount. You know, it's a lot of hairspray. We have like a couple other sprays. We have a partnership with this company, Design Me. And luckily with that partnership, we're able to order a lot of product through them. And that's really great. But that's what we fly through, all the sprays. And then the festival braids, the feed-in hair is pretty pricey. And then the shimmers, the sparkle and the hair is pretty pricey.
Really, the sparkles are?
Yeah, so that's a big goal of ours right now, is to find a good supplier for the shimmers and for the festival feed-in hair.
Okay.
Yeah, I think once we unlock those two things, we'll be unstoppable.
What's that?
China.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've found a few, but nothing up to our quality yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, being pretty picky on the quality.
Yeah, I mean, everything over there for the most part is, you know, they're shipping in mass quantities over to the U.S. A lot of it's going to be pretty low quality, I feel like.
Typically.
But like how I see it is like what we're buying right now, they're getting it from someone overseas, and so it's, you know,
Either
who's
way,
their supplier.
exactly.
Yeah, so I just need to figure out who their suppliers. We've gotten really close. Like we just found one for the shimmers, but they didn't have all of the colors. So I'm like, I know they're not it, because who we buy from has all the colors. So we got to keep looking, find the right one. So we're working on it.
It's really interesting. The fashion that goes into hair and like the time and everything like that.
Yeah, it is really wild if you think about it. Like the amount of appointments that we're doing and revenue that we're hitting and people excited to work for us just for hairstyles. But
Right.
there's a lot more into it. So when a woman gets braided by BraidBabes, when she goes to her event, everyone is complimenting her. Like if you go to an event with a BraidBabes braid, everyone is like, your hair is so pretty, or you look so pretty. And the compliments, it feels so good. And then a lot of women are getting braided with their friends and family, and it's like a really good bonding experience too. So there's a lot more into it than just hair. It's a lot of like confidence and compliments and bonding with your friends and family. So
Right. So when you book out like a party, like what's your max amount of people? Is there a max?
our party packages stop at 20, but then it just turns into custom quotes after that. If you
Okay.
want more than 20, custom quote.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
like when that happens, how do you manage that, as in like sending the braiders? You only send one? Do you send two? Do you send, I know it probably depends on, but like what's the most braiders you've sent, if you know?
Probably 4 braiders. Our parties go up to 4 braiders. Love it. Our parties go up to 4 braiders. And different appointments will go up to that many too. Like weddings take a lot of time, so those can go up to 4 braiders as well. And then we've done braid bars with like 7.
Really?
Yeah, those can get pretty big.
So that, like you just said, like it's more of just not getting your hair done. It's more of like a bonding type experience kind of thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, like if he was getting his hair cut by like a barber, or if I were before some event or something, and we're like at the same place, and there's like 3 other of our boys all getting their haircuts, I feel like it'd be a fucking funny time.
Yeah, you're all hanging out,
you know what
talking.
I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like I've never like gotten like, you ever got like a pedicure or like a, what's the other one, manicure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
Guess
gotten.
that'd be the same.
But like,
too,
I feel like it's the
hanging
same shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, especially because we're in their house, so they're just hanging out. So a lot of times, like say a girl and her friends are all about to get ready for an event. They're all like doing their makeup, they're playing music, hanging out, and BraidBabes is there braiding them. We're just part of that. Instead of them like going to a salon and getting braided, we're coming where they're already doing their makeup, they're already playing music, they're already getting ready, taking photos, and now BraidBabes is there braiding them. And then it's the same vibe for parties. Like we're right in your house, you know, where everyone's partying and hanging out, and we're braiding, and yeah.
That's like a unique thing too. That is cool.
Yeah, like Cobblestone Live, we actually pointed the stools facing each other because we're like, let's make it so everyone can like, instead of being in a line and they're all facing out,
Right.
let's face our clients to each other and they can talk. And
Yeah.
they did, and it was really
makes
cute.
sense. That does make sense. Because like I feel like when you're getting makeup done, you can't probably, like, I don't put makeup on, so I don't know. But like you probably can't like sit there and discuss and like, but like when you're behind the individual, you can the individual or the customer or whatever it is can probably have a conversation with anybody
yeah.
around them, you know?
Oh yeah, and then the braiders too. We kind of become friends with our clients over time and like build that connection with them too.
Right. That's
That's
like an
pretty cool.
important thing, I feel, because like if you're to go to a client's house, you have to be able to talk, you know, like you have to be able to spark a conversation and keep it going, just like a barber would.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really connect with them.
So before this, you were saying you wanted to do, or you were doing a 75-day hard.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Have you guys heard of it?
No, but I thought about it when we just cracked this beer. So.
You don't
When
know
you
what
just
that
crack
is?
2 of them?
You don't know what that is? Seriously?
Oh, you know it?
Yeah, I know
Cool.
what it is. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, so the 75 Hard is this mental toughness challenge, and there's a list of things you have to do every single day for 75 days, and if you miss one of them, you have to start over. You're done. And so you can't say you've done the 75 Hard unless you've done 75 days. And so I made it to 50 last year, and so I'm really determined this time to make it to 75. I'm on day 23.
Okay.
But you have to do 2 workouts. One of them has to be outside. They're 45 minutes. You have to drink a gallon of water. That's why I had to keep using the bathroom before this started. I'm like chugging water. You have to take a progress photo. And, you have to follow a diet and then no drinking.
Yeah, the whole drinking thing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like everything else is pretty easy.
That's the easiest part for me. I don't love drinking lately.
Oh, okay.
But I like the challenge because sometimes I can get in a rut. Like around COVID, I got in a big rut and gained 40 pounds. And so the 75 Hard was really good at like just shaving that off. And
Yeah.
it could just, you have your list of what you have to do for the day, you do it, and then you're good. And as an entrepreneur, it's so easy to just not work out because you're just on the computer, just like in the zone. You're like, I'll work out later, and then you don't work out. So I use the 75 Hard as a tool. When I find myself in one of those ruts, I can just be like, okay, I'm gonna start the 75 Hard tomorrow. And then sure enough, so like I'm on day 23 and I already lost 5 pounds. And like, I don't really need to lose weight now, but it's just like what happens when you do this challenge. Naturally, you're going to lose weight and your body's gonna see changes too.
Right, no.
So what do the workouts look like? Like, do they have like is it like a plan or is it like a?
No, it's whatever you want. 45 minutes of a good workout.
You said two a day?
2 a day, 1 outside.
Yeah, I'll say one's outside, right?
What's the
Yeah.
outside one look like? Like, what are you doing?
I
Like,
run.
Just running?
Yeah, but people can do whatever they want. I like running. So like I did 4 miles today, and then I still have to do my second workout. So after our big call with the team later, I'm going to do a 45-minute YouTube workout. So there's a ton of 45-minute workouts on YouTube, I'm guessing, kind of from the 75 Hard. So I've just been like YouTubing workouts to do at home. And then I go rollerblading. I play tennis. But like when there's a workout like tennis where you're not burning a ton of calories, I try to use those on like kind of like cool down recovery days. Like I'm not gonna like play tennis every day and be like, that's my workouts. But some days you do need to like kind of cool down and recover. So I'll do like a yoga and tennis for a day to like recover a little bit.
Right.
And then I can like hit everything hard again after that.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I said, I just use it as a tool when I get in a
Yeah,
good
no,
rut.
it makes
I might
sense.
look into that, honestly.
Oh, okay, you. Okay, all right, relax. It's like saying I'm gonna look into it, man. Come on, get out of here.
Hey, I'm the one at the gym every morning. At
Yeah, you're
Wow.
that guy. You are that guy.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
but we all know what I'm talking
If I
about.
actually wanted to.
Isn't there something about like reading like 10 pages of a book too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
10, I knew I was missing something.
Okay.
10 pages
So
of
10
a book.
pages of a book.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Oh, yeah, I do it all to a T. Because, like, this is the kind of challenge where you can't cheat anything, even by a little bit, or else you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, you're not doing it if you're cheating at all, which is funny because I'm a total rule bender. I do not follow rules. But it feels good to have this one part of my life where I do just follow it to a T and I don't have to think about it. I'm reading a finance, like Harvard Business Review finance for managers book. It's so dry, like dying. I'm understanding like 20% of it, but I'm terrible at finance. That's one part where I really struggle in this business. And so maybe it'll help me a little bit.
Do you ever read like over 10 pages? It's like it's so boring.
Rarely. Yeah. Which is funny because I feel like before this challenge, I would open up my book and read a good amount of pages. But now with the challenge, I'm like, my 10 is done. And then the only time I will is if it's like the chapter ends 2 pages later. I'm like, okay, I'll read 12.
Speaking of 10 pages, are you a Gary Vee guy?
No,
I said guy.
just a real Gary Vee guy over here. No, I listened to him when I was younger before BraidBabes, when I was feeling a little bit lost, and I liked some of his advice. He was like kind of like hustle culture, but he was also like, make sure you sleep and calm down, like you're not gonna be a millionaire tomorrow. And so I thought some of his advice was like pretty good on like the base level.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I fell off of him a little bit.
He's a
but I used to
lot,
be-
man.
I got his book, and that was probably the only book I read
Was
10
it good?
pages of ever.
And you only read 10 pages?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh no.
No, I mean it was decent, like the 10 pages I read.
I feel like his advice is really good for like college students that are like really lost. And every college student is
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna be a millionaire by the time I'm 27.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, but like you will be, but like not 27 probably.
He's a lot.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
Everything about him is a lot, but it's okay to be that way. I mean, I ain't gonna knock him.
Lately, I like more like founders that aren't quite famous. So there's a few of those that I follow, and that's why I like to really listen to and watch what they're doing, because they're just a couple of steps ahead of me instead of like out of the game. Do you know what I mean? Like already a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big podcast guy. Like I watch podcasts on YouTube, and there's like dudes like Money Buys Happiness. They have like a whole social media business that they don't really talk about too much. They always have guests on, but yeah, they're kind of the same way. Like they always talk business. So
You like it? You recommend it?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Money-
they have a lot
yeah,
of
they're-
business people on.
They're also like, for a select, I would say, group, like their guests. They're very individual, like different. Like their guests are always different. But like, I feel like to like that podcast, you have to like the hosts. You know what I mean? Because everybody's so different. Like they just had Jesse on, and then they just have like the most random people on who are like business people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like not everybody can vibe with
Yeah.
every episode if you're not in tune with the host itself.
Yeah. The only podcast I've gotten into recently is Mindset Mentor. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
I'm blanking on his name.
I feel like I've heard of it, but
What's his name?
I can't remember.
Oh shit.
I know it though, but Mindset Mentor, and it's these quick episodes. It's like 12 minutes, and he'll just go really into a topic of like how to get motivated when all you want to do is take a nap. Like, and he'll just go into little snippets like that, and you just listen to it for your day, and it gets you motivated. He'll teach you like all kinds of different mindset.
Rob Dial.
Rob Dial, yeah.
Rob fucking Dial. I'll have to look into
I like
that one.
that
now.
one as like a quick pick me up in the morning. But other than that, I haven't gotten into any podcasts lately. I like listened to a couple episodes and they're just not hitting. But I'm really into audiobooks right now. So
Audiobooks,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm like flying through audiobooks. So when I
Really?
go on like that 4-mile run today, I just listen to like 45 minutes of a book.
You're listening to a book when you're running?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm really big
That's
on
crazy.
I'm really big on multitasking. It's like, what else can I be doing in this moment? I like can't sit still. I'm like, I can't waste 5 minutes. I'm like really stressed out if I waste 5 minutes. So if I can run and listen to a business book at the same time, like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have listened to podcasts while running.
Yeah, I've listened to podcasts while like working out, but
a book, yeah.
a book is just like, oh man,
Yeah, I get into it.
you know?
It almost kind of helps sometimes because then I'm just more thinking about the book and not thinking about how like I want to stop running and walk.
True.
I'm not
Yeah.
a big reader though. Are you?
No.
Clearly not. You just said the only book you read was 10 pages.
Yeah. I don't think I ever read a book in high school or anything.
I know. I always spark those.
Spark notes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm doing like 6 a month right now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I know that the level of CEO that I want to be, I'm not there. Like I have so much to learn. I'm not good enough to be the CEO of where I want BraidBabes to be. And I'm learning a ton from these books. And what's really cool is when you read that many books, the ideas in them all start to overlap. And so then you're like kind of becoming a pro at these business ideas and how to grow and how it all works.
Yeah,
So that's been kind of cool.
that's cool.
So you were talking about eventually getting into franchising.
Yes, we're working
What-
hard on that.
Would that look like? Like, how do you get there from where you're at right now?
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part right now is getting the FDD done and the operations manual, and we need some upfront money to get that done. So it's on my list right now. We follow this thing called the EOS system. It's the entrepreneurial operating system, and in that you have rocks. So one of my rocks right now is to figure out how to get the money for franchising. We would need like $25,000 to get the FDD legal part done, but then some people are saying you need $250 to be able to just like really do this successful, launch the franchise. So I'm also figuring out like how much do we really want, how much do we need, and how are we going to get it. So I'm working on that right now. Then you have like the attorney does the FDD, which is basically the contract of here's what BraidBabes is going to do, and if you buy this franchise, here's what you're going to do. And then our plan is to have one sold by the end of the year, and then by the end of 2025 have 40. So in the next 2 years, have 40. Big
Cool.
goals.
Well, I have like firm belief in you and the whole thing because obviously what you've done and where you are now just obviously speaks volumes. And I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but like when I say this, just like I'm not discrediting by any means, but like for something off of like just simple as hair, which is like really cool because there's like other companies which are so into everything, but that is very cool. And like, you seem very driven, so I feel like you can accomplish that pretty easily, and you seem to be on a right path. Like you're doing that 75, what is it, 75?
75 hard.
75 hard. Yeah, real hard. No, I know that there's one reason why him and I won't do it, and we're staring at it right now. But,
Second reason being reading.
oh, yeah, no, the fucking reading's not happening. 10 pages isn't bad, though.
You could probably find a good book too.
If it was like 75 pages, dude, like I
It
feel
is-
like it should be
I could do
75.
10 beers a day. I couldn't do
I
10
know,
pages.
You guys do the
man. Maybe we
reverse,
could
create-
substitute.
Create your own like reverse 75 hard.
Yeah, we
10
just
beers a day.
substitute it. Like, hey, we're taking out this rule, but we're adding this one for
10
that
beers.
one. Yeah, like,
75
yeah, exactly.
really hard.
I mean, it was
Really
hard.
hard.
Like last night, it was 2 a.m, and I was reading my 10 pages, like falling asleep. But
How much sleep do you usually average? I like to ask that. That's important.
I shoot my alarm for 7.5. I try not to stay up late. I'm on a really bad habit the last 2 weeks. I got to get back to like 10 a.m.
Yeah, I'm pretty
10
bad
p.m.
on it. I know he's bad on it
I
too.
got 4 last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Like the stuff I see says how much it really affects your brain when you don't get enough sleep. It's not just like, oh, you'll be tired the next day. I saw this TikTok this morning they did a study on students and their memory was staying in short-term memory because it didn't have the chance to make it to long-term, and that just like bogs them down. They can't get new short-term memory and just really starts to affect you.
There you go. I missed my dentist appointment today.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're
We've been blaming CTE this whole time. It's just
just sleep.
Yeah, so it's not like, oh, I'll just be physically tired. It's like you're really not going to be able to perform at the mental level that you need to for running a podcast. But I've been doing...
Wait, hold on, time out. Good thing, good for you. She said running a pod. You know how easy this is? I mean, I'm being serious. You know how easy this is? I mean, I hate to throw this information out there, And
We
I'm not
used
discrediting
to
your
say
work.
it was this was so
we used to say this was so hard, but I'm
Now
telling
that
you
you're
right
in like
now.
the hang of it.
No, not even. No. If we were still doing the same tactics we did when we started, it would still be so hard.
Oh, okay.
The very beginning of this podcast started with traveling to the guests. That was very hard, and then all the extra stuff that came after it. But now this is real easy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to expose it, but we have before, so might as well. Everything is done through a computer at this point. No manual work anymore.
I love it.
The hardest part, in all honesty, is setting this up and taking it down. The hardest part. But we've
That's
learned
amazing.
that over time. Like, we'll take all this and we'll put it into a computer, and it just does it for you.
No way. So they've like programs for it all?
Oh, yeah. Like,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
AI
AI is
impressive.
and
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of jobs, I think.
It's going to take
but-
so
What do you
many
use to
jobs.
make the? Well, you don't have to say if you don't want to give
No,
your secret
that's
away.
fine. Everybody else.
I played around with video or something like that.
Hold on one second. If you want to.
Where it like takes a big video and like makes clips.
So there's one company, they just came out recently.
We're dropping gems right now to the people.
We're dropping gems, but they're not gonna care. They're not motivated enough to even do it. We've already dropped the gems. All the clips that we produce from our podcast, we do.
Now, not in the past.
Not in the
but
past. We used to manually do them, manually subtitle them. Every single thing now, we just drop a YouTube link into this program. It's called Opus.
Opus, cool.
And it makes, first of all, it takes the YouTube link. You don't even have to draw a raw file. The YouTube link, it takes that, it makes it vertical. It can tell that you're talking and frame you and then frame individually
Yeah.
us on the same frame
Oh, that's cool.
if it needs to. And it will add subtitles, emojis, and everything. And it will choose about, how many is it now? It used to be 10.
It depends. It's between 10 and 25. depending on the
10 and
video.
25
The
clips.
And
on
then
each
it'll
pod.
rank them by chances of virality. Like,
No way.
it'll score them and then
Okay,
it'll
cool.
explain
Not
why.
even to mention, it gives them a title, it gives them a description, it does it all.
Wow.
Then you want to talk about editing the full YouTube podcast? Like, obviously, these cameras aren't picking up our audio, these microphones are. You overlay that, which a podcast like this, which is right now about an hour, would take around, I like to usually say, what was it, 30 minutes equals an hour on a podcast, editing it. You can put this in, I can put this in within 15 minutes, sync it up, hit one button, and it will cut it within 5 minutes and have the full episode cut to you and him and I talking.
Wow.
But we used to do it all manual when we first started.
That's so cool.
Like, this is just
I
as
love
of
it.
recent, within a month,
Yeah.
month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
cool though. I
everything-
like playing with those different tools too. Like I used the video one, which was supposed to do the same thing, but you had to upload the raw video in, and that took forever. And then the clips it gave me weren't that great. And
it really is. AI is going to take a lot of jobs when it really gets good. And it's
I love
starting to
it.
get really good.
I've been using it in the 75 hard. It's doing my meal plans and my grocery list.
Exactly.
Really?
So
Exactly.
Where? Like ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is.
I just say like, give me a meal plan and a grocery list, and then I just edit it from there. Like at first, it gave me 3 different meals with 2 different snacks every single day of the week. This giant grocery list, and then I was like, okay, just repeat one day over and over and give me that grocery list. So
ChatGPT is amazing. Like
it is.
the things I've seen that thing do. Like I've used it a few times, but like AI is really.
it can make things worse sometimes though, because I introduced it to my team, and my one employee, she used it to do a big quote, to a big business, and it sounded like ChatGPT wrote it, and she sent it, and I was like,
See, and that's where the problem lies, because I've seen a lot lately now. Like somebody responded to an email. It was on TikTok, so obviously you take everything on TikTok.
yeah.
But they responded to an email to somebody that they were trying to work with, and they knew it was ChatGPT. So
Yeah, you can
Wonder if
tell.
AI picks
Like,
this
there
up as a
isn't-
clip.
there isn't. AI is like, how great, 99% of chance virality right at the top. It's just like how great AI is.
All right. Well, you got a meeting soon.
Yeah.
So we're going to let you go. Thank you so
Just
much.
check
for
your
coming
watch.
on.
I did.
She's got bracelets.
Check my bracelet. Gotta go.
Thank you. for
Thank
coming
you.
On.
This was
anything
fun.
you want to shout out? Anything coming up? Anything happening?
We have our Barks and Braids August 26th, and that's a huge event in Buffalo and Nashville. It's super fun. I think you said this will probably be out before that, so.
Tuesday.
Yeah. This will be out within a week.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
We have Barks and Braids. That's our biggest event. It's the only event we do that we host each year.
Cool.
And then all the proceeds go to the local dog rescue, which this year is the SPCA.
Cool.
Awesome.
Obviously, look out for them at the Bills games.
Yes, before the home game, Gate 5.
And we'll link all your Instagrams down below in the description.
Thank you.
Comment, subscribe. Otherwise, you're a big fat pussy bitch.